Welcome to my show. A guest here. His name is Adir Biniamini. Mr.
You
Adia,
got it.
how are you doing, sir?
Adir is just fine. No need, Mister. Adir is doing good. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, Mr. Adia. And also, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the time and the opportunity. Firstly, you are an author. You are also the founder of Self Master Club Coaching. Can you please, Mr. Adia, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Adia?
Well, first of all, I'm doing fantastic. I'm a proud father of two and try to be a nice husband as well and a good human being. And I wake up every day motivated for a new beginning, for a genesis, as you can call it. Every day it's a new opportunity. The sun rises and it shines on you, and you need to embrace that. Um, I've started at a young age as an entrepreneur. I started as an entrepreneur out of necessity, not out of love for entrepreneurial. I fell in love with it along the way. I fell in love with the ability to create, to think for myself, to control a destiny, and to help others along the way, to create jobs and opportunities for others. Um, with time, as I focused a lot on sales and business development in my part of the establishments that I was involved with, um, I grew a love for the human connection. I grew the love to understanding the person in front of me and how the actual collaboration with one another is more important than the product or the service that I have for them. And I found that, the more I talk about a product, less engaged they are in the conversation. And when I was just touching the person in front of me and relating to them and having that human to human conversation, closer we got. And the closer we got, there was more will to do a business together, to do a transactions together. And quickly, I understood in a very early age that people actually want to do business with with a person, not with a product. And I've learned that very fast because in my first business, um, we did cabinetry. My dad is a cabinet maker for many, many years. He's an old man now, but we did a very, very high-end cabinetry, and our clients were very, very well off. Okay, and 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 I found that if you can sell something to a very, very rich person, to a person that has all the resources in the world, that means that he wants to do business with you. Because let's be honest, when you have all the resources in the world, you are like Aladdin with a genie in a bottle beside you. You gotta rub the lamp, and the genie pops up and grants you a wish because you have the resources. You can do whatever you want. You can buy whatever it is that you are seeking for from multiple sources. But if they chose to do business with you, that should mean something. And those kind of people who are very, very busy and they have empires of themselves, they don't have the time to waste and to hear your story about your product or your service and all this massaging. They get right to the point, and the point is you, the person in front of you. So that took me into wanting later on in my life to coach others, to make others understand how to collaborate in that mindset. And I understood very fast that you can only coach a person looking at themselves. You know, I don't have any control over you. I don't have any control over my kids. I don't have any control of any situation other than myself. That's the only person, that's the only thing I can control. I can control my mood, I can control my approach, I can control what I speak, what I say, the way I look, the way I dress. And so it all starts for me. So coaching became, you know, the focal point of my later stage in life as I grew older and I'm now over 50, is to take all the insights, all the experiences that you've had, and to bring that about to someone else that is maybe confused a bit, or maybe second guessing themselves, or maybe is lacking in confidence or self-esteem, or maybe just doesn't know how to approach something, and to have them be able to look deep inside themselves and be true with themselves. And that's where it starts from. um, this book, The Art of Human Connection, um, came about exactly from this essence. It came about to share all this knowledge and to let people understand that it's okay. You don't need to sell yourself through the lens of whatever product you have, or the car that you have, or the muscles that you are having. It's not about the substance. It's about you. When you go on a date, which I haven't in a long, long time, um, you, we are all sellers at the end of the day. We are all sellers. And even on a date, you kind of sell yourself, but you want to do it in a way that you're not misleading. You're not lying about yourself, because, this might end up in a marriage. Now, all those stories you told her or him, it's just now big fake lies, right? And it's going to blow in your face. So you have to start from this honest truth, from that point of being humble, being a compassionate person, showing empathy, and always starts with, even though it starts with you, but it starts with the person in front of you. It starts with you, with the way you engage, with the way you go about things, with the way you prepare yourself to a conversation, to a connection. But it starts with the person in front of you. It's about how you can help them, how you can solve a problem, how you can understand them, being in their shoes, always being in their shoes. That is the most important, because if I cannot feel your pain, your need, your happiness, then what good am I?
Absolutely true. And I completely, relate with everything you said, which is one of the main reasons you decided to actually bring out the book that you've written. In this world that we are, we have to know how to give some sense of communication, engage with people, and actually know how to relate with people. As you've said earlier, we might have every single thing right at the front of us. But the realization, which I really love what you said, the realization is about we, the person. No matter who we encounter, no matter how we communicate with people, no matter who we meet, no matter what we want to sell or what we want to engage with, it always starts from we, the people, we, the person who is standing right at the front of the person. And that is why the human connection is very important. How can we bring ourselves down in a way whereby we show the sense of connection, and we also show the sense of responsibility and putting ourselves also in those other people's shoes? When we can reflect to them, then they can also reflect to us. It will be very easy for them to say, all right, I think I can work with you. I think I can do something with you. I think you are someone that really have this kind of qualities that I am looking for. Then we can take things from there. We don't need to be too fast, too fast, and put every single thing that is right at the background of us, maybe the products we are selling or things. It will make us feel like we are just in haste. We have to be cool and continue to build the sense of human connection. And that is the beauty of the book you've written, and also the coaching work you are doing to actually give out to others, to make others understand how they can actually build the sense of connection, how they can actually bring themselves out despite anybody they encounter in their life, and how they can actually be in a position whereby they conquered and they actually connect with that person. That person actually acknowledge them in a very, very huge way. And that is why I do know that you spoke about the book, but due to the fact that it is all also in angle of the book you've written, The Art of Human Connection. Can you please, Mr. Adia, just try to discuss more on the book? And do you also plan as a coach to, write more books in the coming future, Mr. Adia?
Yeah, I'm currently working on the next book. It's in actually a fiction. It's a beautiful story of self-discovery. I won't give too much of it. Um, People should follow me and follow the channel, and to know more about what is coming. It will be called Primal Flow, and Primal Flow brings the three pillars of my life, which are Stoicism, Taoism, and Kabbalah, um, which they are simplified as flow, discipline, and conscious creation. And it brings it all in together into a book of that starts with a tragedy and a person that discovers the role that he has in life, and through that he enlightens many others. And it's all to do with exactly the same concepts over here too. And back to this current book, The Art of Human Connection, you know, it really comes down to one thing: do to others as you want to be done to you. You know, treat others the way you want to be treated. And if you look at this simple sentence, um, there's really not grand philosophy and psychology around it. You don't need all those tricks and juggle things around and have sparkles all around you. It's very basic. And communication started in the human race way before we knew we actually different than another, or before we even had the language. It's called body language. It's very easy. If you look at a mime show, he can portray himself as very angry, and very cheerful, and he can make himself look like he's stuck somewhere, inside a box. So it it starts from that. When you walk into a room, let's say it's a business meeting, or it's a party, and you walk into a room and the room is full of people. It could be 10 people, it could be 50 people. Usually, many people are aware of someone's entering. We have that energy that we all of a sudden we have a glance of to that direction of, oh, a newcomer came, somebody just entered the room. And at the same time that happens, it's amazing how much our subconscious can process in seconds, in milliseconds. And it can sense really if you just came, in a rush because you're late and everybody were waiting for you, or you come in very happy and casual, and it looks like you just had a good night's sleep. And, you can assess that very fast. And in the other hand, you can do that too. So when you enter a room, you know, you can really assess like a CIA agent, like a detective. You can really assess the room in a matter of seconds if you actually train yourself. And you can look of who is now too busy on the phone, or in the computer, or who is really engaging in a conversation, who has a smile on their face, who looks like they're dead tired. And you can really assess now the energy. So if you're in a sales meeting, let's say, and you want to use that momentum, you can now assess it very well and pick two, three, five that you feel some kind of energy to them. They came today to work. They didn't come today because they're dragging their feet into work. They came because they want to engage. And you can feel the energy, and they're responsive, and they make eye contact. And now you can cater to them, and through them to spread it into everyone else. So you can use that. But it starts with the body language of how do we come about? How do we portray ourselves? And because it starts with us, and because it all relates to something fantastic that we don't teach our kids and society too much about. It's called emotional intelligence. It's nice to have intelligence in academics. It's very nice. And I'm a believer that our mind can develop to high levels, even if you were not born naturally with a genius IQ. You can train yourself. You can study. You can improve yourself. But emotional intelligence, it's something that taps into your feelings. And it starts with you. You need to wake up in the morning and recognize, who am I today? Am I too tired? Did I sleep well? Am I carrying anything from yesterday? Do I have some kind of resentment, or am I just joyful and happy and grateful? And through that, analyze yourself of what can you bear today from others, and almost like tippy toes around it, because the person in front of you is not cannot control you, and it's not is not um, it doesn't need to be punished because you are not very happy currently, or you have a headache, or you had an argument with your spouse, um, and or you just don't like how things are, and now you kind of taking it out on people. So it all starts from that point. And when you know yourself, and when you can look deep into yourself and be true and honest with yourself, now you can prepare that energy. Now you can say, okay, how speakers or athletes, before they go about and they do their thing, even singers, they do their la 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 and all those vocal practices before they are singers. They know how to sing. They don't need to really do all that. You are an athlete, you are a footballer, you don't really need to. You have been playing football since age 4, so but what it does, it puts you in a mindset. It narrows it blocks all the noise from outside, and it just brings everything down into like a single atom. And there you are. And now you are prepared to enter that room the right way, because the people inside, they don't care about your personal problems. And you owe it to them to enter the room with the right vibe, the right energy that they deserve. And if each one of us do that, what a party this would be.
I totally understand. And just to make every single person understand better, we have to treat others with empathy and care. We do know that. But we also do not need to use our triumphs, because every single one of us face triumphs and setbacks and issues in life. We shouldn't use it as a source of is a very bad or any unusual energy towards people that we have around us. We have to bring out the right energy that we need, that we think will be okay for every single person we find right at the front of us. So every single behavior, or every single way, or every single thing that we think we want to achieve on earth always starts from us. We are the source of the
You are so
light.
right.
We are the number one people who need to think about. And that is why I love what you said. We do know that, do unto others as you would do unto yourself, all those kind of things. Because if we have not fixed ourselves down to a certain point, how can we be able to to process the energy that we do need to put right at the front of people, for them to actually feel us and actually acknowledge and love us and embrace us as one of their own? We have to work on
Good.
ourselves first. Ourself is the
So
main
let me ask
source.
you this. Let me
Okay.
ask you this. Let's do a little practice.
All
Okay.
right.
Where do you grow from? So if everything is now perfect in your life,
Yeah.
no problems, no issues, you're not lacking money, you're not lacking love, attention, warmth, health, everything is beautiful. You're in heaven. You're Adam in heaven. Okay. In the Garden of Eden. Where do you grow from there? Growth comes from pain. It comes from a problem. Only when you get somewhere low, you can actually rise back again. If you're at the summit of Mount Everest, you have nowhere to climb to, right? So when we're looking at people's problems and our problems, we should use the negative in our life to enlight, to to make that um, a light in our life, just as you said. You know,
Yeah.
just like if you're in a dark room and you can't see where you're going, what do? It's common sense. You flick the light on. You flick the light on, and now all of a sudden you can find your way. It's the same as everything, but it starts from us, from our decision, from having empathy, and to know that everyone suffers something. Everyone goes through obstacles in life. Nobody's perfect. We are not robots yet. Maybe Elon Musk will change that to all of us, but we are not robots yet. We have been humans with flesh and blood, with, you know, cells in our body, um, walking around Earth for thousands and millions of years, depends who you want to believe and what story you want to follow. But um, we have to look at others the same as we are looking at ourselves. It's easy to just have expectations, but it's not about numbers, it's not about substance, it's not about outcomes, it's about the journey. It's about what do you do, you know how do you go about it. And so thank you for actually clarifying and understanding this, because it really it's encouraging to know that people can understand this simplicity, because no one talks about it anymore. No one talks about it. No one talks about voice tonality, of how you can use your voice to bring your energy to the next level. Because you know I can body language, voice tonality. I can use my fist and come to you, and your your reaction would be aggressive too, because you're saying, "What does this guy want from me?" Like why is he coming to me so aggressive? And if I'll yell at you, you you won't like it, and you might yell back, because now I'm bringing you down to my level. But if I control myself and go about things the way it should be, and keep my problems to myself to deal with in my own ways, and even if I have to deal with it with my psychologist, or have a talk with my good friend, that's okay. That's okay. But I cannot project it to the other side.
And that is it. Life is always a journey. We will always face triumphs, ups and downs, pain. We shouldn't use the pain as a source of a contradiction to the relationship we have with others. We should use it as a way for us to reflect, calculate, recalculate, and try our best to see the better ways we can improve ourselves so that such situations do not actually cause such damage in our life again. Now, if we are with people, we should always try our best to acknowledge, give the sense of reflection. When we see other people, we should see the other people as if we are seeing ourselves, so that we will be in the position to understand, to put ourselves in their shoes, and to have one very important skill: ability to listen attentively and to understand what the other side is saying. If we can have those simplicity, it's very beautiful. And that is why I love what you said, that you said people don't talk about it anymore. It is just a simplicity. It is just something we call common sense. If we could just have those little things in our mind and we project ourselves more better and continue with our journey, it doesn't matter how far we go, but if we do know how things are going and how we are definitely giving the sense of communication and moving around people and knowing how we can face our triumphs, ups and downs, and not using it as a burden towards others. I think our position on earth towards people and the way people sees us will be so much different. And we have something we call more graces. More graces starts to come in, which is what we want on earth, which is what we tremendously desire, because people want to see the light. People always want to relate with people who actually give them the light, who actually show the sense of relation, and who actually wants to listen, who actually show the sense of empathy, which is the most important thing that we need to build. Empathy, love, kindness, and seeing one another as if we are one and we want to build ourselves to become more better. Triumphs will come, setback will come. As you said earlier, it is always something that comes in our life to make us more stronger, to make us more better, to make us to be in a position we realize a lot of things. Because even I am a weakness. When you said it, I am a weakness. There are sometimes things happens, and those things that happens give me a opportunity to realize a lot of things I need to work on. A lot. And I never knew before those situations came in. When it came in, that is when those brightness, those eyes starts to come up, that, oh, I think these are things I need to actually work on. So from the bottom of my heart, Mr. Adia, I want to thank you for the beautiful insight you brought out, to be honest with you, regarding your book. let me look at your book, The Art of Human Connection, how we can work on ourselves and also become more better. Thank you so much for this beautiful insight you brought on. I sincerely appreciate it. And also,
My
as a
dear friend,
person,
thank you.
exactly. And also, there is a question I normally ask during the end of the show, Mr. Adia. From our forefathers, from our ancestors, there are a lot of beautiful things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mr. Adia, what do you think that thing will be, Mr. Adia?
Oh, it's called simply humanity. Now, humanity is it's um, it's a world of feelings.
Yeah,
Um, we are different than a lot because we feel with intelligence. My dog feels pain too. He may feel, sometimes if you're angry around them and things, but he doesn't know how to put things together so much. And our job as humans is to know how to use feelings in the right way. And if you if you use your feelings in the right way, then we can avoid many, many, many difficulties. And we can avoid many, many people who are walking around us in, depressions
yeah,
and sadness. And usually they're depressed and sad, you know, not because of a tragedy that happened to them in their life that collapsed everything around them. Um, but it's usually about things that other people caused them or, situations that we're in, and we can avoid it very easily. It starts with us, it's humanity. We are one people, we are one race, we are humans. And the day we recognize that, we will learn that love is all we need. There was a singer back in the day that had that in their song. Love is all we need. And yeah, John Lennon was a brilliant person, and he tapped into the exact words that humans need to listen every morning, every night, every minute of the day. Love is all you need. Stick to love, and that's what unites humans at the end of the day. It's love. Hate separates us, and love unites us. And our forefathers knew that very, very well. Um, but we are a hard species to control, you know, and that's why if you try to control species, it's not going to work. Control starts from here, from inside, from each person to themselves. And if each one will do their job, then love is all we're going to have.
Thank you so much. Humanity is something that we do need in our time. We are all humans. We should show ourselves love, kindness, and empathy. This is one of the most beautiful things that will help every single one of us on earth. Because despite the way the world is so beautiful, there are some issues and there are some things that arise on earth that shouldn't arise. But due to the sense of we not having the sense of love and kindness, that is why such things arise. That is why we see it around us. But if we show the sense of love towards people we find around us, a lot of people, as you said, most of them, they have a lot of anxiety, depression, not because of probably what they're passing through. It's because of what they've seen around them and how people have, things are happening around now in our time currently. Just
Yeah,
showing that sense of attention really mean a
yeah.
lot
You
to
know,
people.
if you randomly, sorry that I'm cutting you
No
for a
worries.
second, but if you randomly ask two people, and in one side you'll have a person that, has a lot of hate
Yeah,
in him to many things, random things, random issues. And the other person has a lot of love to random things, to random issues, to
yeah.
different people. You will find if you peel the onion on each one of them down to the core, you will find that the love and the hate they have starts from themselves. And when a person loves themselves, they usually love
Oh,
everything else and the opposite too. So again, self reflection, self awareness, self love, self care. That is all you have as a job as a human person over here in this world. Starts with yourself. The rest will come when others can join your party, can join your mindset. You cannot control others. You can only control yourself. Start with yourself and let that circle grow by sharing that mindset, by sharing your insights, by sharing that love with other people and showing people that it's okay. It's okay, even if you're vulnerable in a situation, even if you don't know how to go about, even if you're afraid how you're going to be looked at or something.
Yeah.
Starts with that, you know? Start with that. Be like a good virus. You know what's a good virus? A good virus is something that, makes other people sick in the good way,
Yeah.
not in a bad way. Make that thing go and spread all around your community as much as you can.
Definitely. If we can show ourselves, as you've said earlier, there's self reflection. Reflection is the most important thing. If we love ourselves, we love others. If we care for ourselves and give ourselves the empathy, we show empathy to others. Life is just like a mirror. When we see ourselves great, we see others great. I want to thank you for the time, the opportunity you've given to me today. Thank you so much, Mr. Adia.
And Mitope, thank you so much. Good luck on your venture and everything that you're doing. I love what you're doing. I've listened to
Thank you.
many of your episodes. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Have a wonderful day, Mr. Adia. Bye bye.
Take care.